Come in. Your calm English journey begins.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Calm English Studio. I'm Emma. Wherever you are right now, whether you're resting on your bed, commuting to work, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, thank you for spending this time with us.
And I'm Leo. We're really glad you're here. Let's slow down together for a moment. Take a small breath. Let your shoulders soften. Let your mind settle. There's no pressure here, just a gentle space for English.
You know, something small happened to me yesterday morning. I was drinking my first cup of coffee, that warm, peaceful moment when the day hasn't fully started, and I opened my inbox. There was a message from a learner. She wrote, "Emma, I studied vocabulary for 3 hours last night. I remembered everything before I went to sleep, but this morning, it's like the words disappeared." She even added a sad little emoji that almost felt like she was apologizing.
That feeling. You fill your mind with new words, you feel proud, and the next day it's like the words quietly slipped out the back door.
Yes, but what touched me wasn't the forgetting. It was what she said after. "I think something is wrong with me." And my heart just softened because she's not the only one who says this. So many learners blame themselves the moment a word disappears.
Yes, people forget how human forgetting is. We forget names, we forget appointments, we forget what we were about to say in the middle of saying it.
Exactly. But when it comes to English, learners want their memory to behave like a perfect, organized computer. Press a button, the word appears. Ask a question, the answer arrives instantly. But memory doesn't work like a machine. It works like a landscape, soft, moving, alive. Sometimes clear, sometimes hazy, sometimes covered in morning fog.
And when you learn a new word, your brain doesn't carve it into stone. It places it gently, somewhere still soft, somewhere not fully formed. The word is there, just delicate.
That's why forgetting doesn't mean failing. It means the word is still young. It needs more contact, more warmth, more real-life moments before it becomes strong enough to stay.
Exactly. Words don't stay because you memorize them. They stay because they become familiar, used in your day, spoken out loud, connected to something meaningful.
And if you've ever thought, "My memory is terrible," or "I'm just not good at languages," I want you to let that thought rest for a moment. You're not broken. Your brain isn't weak. You're just learning in the way humans learn, through repeated touches, through slow familiarity, through gentle returns.
So if you felt embarrassed or frustrated or disappointed because a word disappeared when you needed it, you're not alone. Really, you're learning the same way everyone learns.
And maybe, just maybe, there's a softer way to think about these forgotten words. Not as failures, but as little lights hiding in the morning mist, waiting for you to walk past them again.
Because when you understand that forgetting is part of remembering, something inside you relaxes. You stop fighting your mind. You begin to walk with it.
And once you see memory this way, you start noticing something beautiful hidden underneath that fog. Your brain is trying to help you, not block you, not punish you, just help you in its own slow, natural way.
And that's where the real conversation begins, with understanding what your brain is actually doing when it forgets a word you learned yesterday.
Let's take a deeper look at that, gently.
So let's stay with that image for a moment. The one we talked about earlier. Your memory as a quiet field covered in a soft morning mist. Because that image captures something important about how the brain works when you learn English.
You know, when learners say, I studied this word last night, so why can't I remember it today? They imagine memory as a drawer. Open it, the word should be there. Neat, clean, labeled, waiting. But real memory isn't a drawer. It's fog, warm, gentle fog.
Yes. And here's the interesting thing. The brain wants to protect you from information overload. Every day, through your phone, your job, your relationships, notifications, random thoughts, your mind receives thousands of pieces of information. If it kept everything, you wouldn't survive. You would drown.
So the brain does something loving, something natural, something beautifully human. It filters. It hides things temporarily to help you stay calm. When a new English word enters your mind, your brain doesn't know yet if this word is important or if it's just something temporary.
Exactly. And until your brain sees real proof, real emotional proof, it keeps the word in a softer, foggier place. This is why you can forget even a word you repeated 10 times the night before.
It's not because you're weak. It's because your brain is waiting for signs of meaning. I always think of it like this. When you first learn a word, it's like a tiny seed sitting in the soil. You can't expect a seed to become a tree overnight. It needs sunlight, water, attention, and time. And forgetting is simply the soil shifting, adjusting, making space for the seed to grow deeper.
I love that. Because people think forgetting means the seed died. But actually, most seeds spend more time underground than above it.
Yes, words behave the same way. They spend a lot of time hidden, quiet, soft, waiting for more contact with you.
And here's something fascinating. The brain remembers things better when they appear in experiences, not just on lists. For example, you might study the word frustrated from a vocabulary list and forget it the next morning. But if yesterday at work you actually felt frustrated, the word sticks immediately.
Because now the word isn't just information, it's you, your feeling, your moment, your life.
That's why dictionaries don't make fluency. Life does.
And this explains something strange that frustrates learners all the time. You remember words when listening, but not when speaking.
Yes, that's the classic mystery. People say, I swear I know this word. I hear it all the time. Why can't I say it? And the answer is actually very simple. Listening is passive memory. Speaking is active memory. Two different parts of the brain. Two different kinds of fog.
Exactly. When you hear a word, your brain only needs to recognize it, like seeing a familiar face in a crowd. But when you speak, your brain needs to find the word, pull it out of the fog, shape it into sound, coordinate your mouth, and send it out into the world. It's a whole process, a gentle but complex dance.
And dances take repetition before they feel natural, before the steps feel automatic, before your mind and your mouth move in harmony.
So when a word hides during speaking, it's not a failure. It's simply a step you haven't practiced enough.
And there's something comforting in that, because it means you're not hopeless. You're not bad at languages. Your mind isn't broken. It's just learning in layers.
Layers of sound, layers of emotion, layers of memory, layers of experience.
And slowly, very slowly, those layers begin to connect. And the fog gets thinner every time you meet the word again.
That's why forgetting isn't the enemy. It's a signal, a gentle reminder that the word needs another touch, another moment with you, another chance to feel real.
And once you see it this way, you stop fighting your memory and start working with it. Softly, kindly, patiently.
And that gentle shift is where remembering truly begins. Not in P, but in permissoen, in allowing yourself to learn the way humans learn. Slowly, imperfectly, beautifully.
And when we understand this, something inside us becomes free, a little lighter, a little less ashamed, a little more open to simply trying again.
And that openness, that softness, is exactly what helps forgotten words find their way back to you.
You know, there's a moment almost every learner experiences, and it always feels a little embarrassing, a little confusing, a little unfair. Someone asks you a simple question, maybe, "What did you eat today?" or "How was your weekend?" And suddenly your mind goes blank, completely blank, like a white screen.
Yes, you can feel the answer somewhere inside you, like a shape, a shadow, an idea you almost touch, but you can't turn it into words. And then, after the conversation is over, on your way home, or in the elevator, or in the shower, the exact word you needed suddenly appears, clear as day.
Yes, exactly then, when it's too late.
But here's the comforting truth. That late memory is actually proof that your brain knows the word. The problem isn't knowledge, it's access, it's timing.
To understand this, imagine your brain has two rooms. Room 1 is the listening room. Soft light, comfortable chairs, a relaxed atmosphere. Words come in, sit down, you recognize them instantly. It feels easy.
Because listening only needs recognition. It's like noticing someone you know walking by. You don't have to call out, you don't have to start a conversation, you just recognize their face.
But speaking happens in the second room, the performance room. It's brighter there, a little louder, a little more stressful. Now you're not just recognizing words, you're producing them, performing them, sending them out into the world.
And that's where the pressure appears. That's where your brain becomes shy. Your mouth tries, but hesitates. Your memory tries to help, but panics. And suddenly, the word that felt so familiar is hiding again behind the fog.
Yes, because speaking is not just thinking but louder, it's coordination, timing, confidence, and this complex, beautiful connection between your thoughts and your mouth, a connection that needs practice, not pressure.
Here's something many learners forget. Your brain often knows the word, but your mouth doesn't know the movement yet. Those muscles haven't practiced enough. It's like hearing a melody many times, but not being able to play it on the piano. You know it, you feel it, but your fingers don't follow yet.
Exactly. And that gap between what you understand and what you can produce is completely normal. Every learner has it. Every speaker crosses it.
But this is where people start blaming themselves. They say things like, "My brain is lazy. My memory is terrible. I can't speak well. I know the words, but I can't use them. And that self-blame makes the performance room even louder, even scarier.
Yes, suddenly it's not just English, it's judgment, it's fear, it's pressure. And pressure is the enemy of recall. Nothing hides faster than a word you force yourself to remember.
But when you speak gently, when you remove the fear, the word often returns, like a shy child who feels safe again.
You know, I once worked with a learner who understood movies, podcasts, YouTube videos with almost no difficulty. She recognized everything, every word, every phrase. But when she tried to speak, her sentences came out in pieces, slow, hesitant, uncertain. She said, "Leo, I feel like I have two brains, one for listening and one for speaking."
I've heard that so many times too. And what we always tell them is the same. You don't have two brains. You have one brain that knows more than your mouth can show.
And that's such an important thing to understand, because the moment you stop seeing yourself as bad at speaking and start seeing yourself as still connecting the rooms, everything becomes lighter.
When you take away the shame, the words stop hiding so deeply. They come closer, more often, more easily, more naturally.
Listening builds familiarity, speaking builds pathways, and pathways take time. They take repetition, they take gentleness.
And every time you try, every time you speak a little, even if you pause, even if you hesitate, even if the word arrives late, you are building that connection.
Yes, you are walking through the fog, not perfectly, not quickly, but consistently. And the fog always lifts for the ones who keep walking.
And when it lifts, you suddenly realize something beautiful. You never truly forgot the words. They were simply waiting for the right moment to come forward. You know, Leo, there's something that quietly hurts learners more than the moment they forget a word. It's not the silence, not the pause, not the blank mind. It's what happens after. The moment they turn inward and start blaming themselves.
Yes, that little voice whispers, "Why can't you remember?" Or, "You studied this, what's wrong with you?" Or, "You'll never be fluent if you keep forgetting." That voice is heavy, heavier than any vocabulary list.
I've seen learners who speak with so much kindness to friends, to family, even strangers. But the way they talk to themselves is harsh, cold, punishing.
And the saddest part? They think being hard on themselves will make them learn faster. But pressure is not a teacher. Pressure is a wall.
Yes, a wall that freezes your mind instead of letting it flow. I've always believed the way we speak to ourselves shapes the way we learn. If you tell your brain, you're bad at this, it closes. If you tell it, it's okay, try again, it opens.
Exactly. Memory is like a shy friend. It comes closer when it feels safe. It hides when it feels judged.
And here's something I wish more learners understood. Your brain doesn't forget to hurt you. It forgets to help you, to keep you calm, to reduce the load, to simplify things so you don't feel overwhelmed.
Yes, forgetting is a natural part of emotional protection. Your brain decides, let's store this softly for now. We'll bring it back when it's useful. It's not failure. It's a gentle sorting system.
But when you shame yourself for forgetting, you create fear around the language. And fear makes remembering harder. Fear tightens everything. your breathing, your chest, your thinking, your voice.
I notice that too. When someone is relaxed, words flow almost effortlessly. But the moment they think, I must not forget, their mind locks like a door with too many keys.
Here's the deeper truth. You cannot grow a language in an environment of punishment. Languages grow in warmth, in patience, in softness.
Yes, no garden grows faster because someone yelled at it. No seed becomes a tree because someone demanded it. It grows because the soil is gentle, the water is steady, the sun is patient.
Your English is the same. It needs a kind environment inside you.
Maybe that's why I always tell learners to change just one thing. Not the study method, not the schedule, not the textbooks, but the tone of their voice when they speak to themselves.
Yes. Replace I forgot again, I'm terrible with it will come back, it's okay. Replace why can't I remember this with I'll meet this word again later. Replace I'm so bad at speaking with I'm learning how to speak.
It sounds small, but these tiny shifts change everything.
Your brain relaxes. Your memory softens. Your speaking becomes less blocked. Words start arriving sooner, and you start trusting yourself again.
Because that's what forgetting really takes away. Not the word, but the trust.
And when you slowly, gently rebuild that trust, something magical happens. You stop seeing forgetting as an enemy and start seeing it as a companion, a natural, normal part of learning.
Yes, a sign that your brain is adjusting, reorganizing, making space, preparing for something deeper.
And the moment you stop blaming yourself, you make room for those deeper connections, room for the word to return, room for speaking to feel natural again, room for English to become something warm, not something frightening.
And this warmth, this shift from self-blame to self-kindness, is exactly what turns forgetting from a problem into a doorway.
A doorway to remembering better, a doorway to learning more gently, a doorway to speaking without fear.
And once that doorway opens, your whole relationship with English begins to change.
You know, after talking about forgetting and about how natural it really is, there's something I often see in learners' eyes, a quiet question, a hopeful question. It's this. So, what can I do to help the words stay longer?
Yes, not in a stressful way, not in a memorize 50 words today way, but in a soft, realistic, this actually fits my life way.
Exactly. Because the truth is, you don't need complicated systems or long study hours to help your memory. What you need are tiny, gentle touches throughout your day.
Let's start with something simple. Saying the word out loud, just once. Not perfectly, not in a long sentence, just letting your mouth feel it. Because when your mouth joins the learning, the word becomes real. It has shape, it has sound. Your muscles remember what your mind forgets.
Yes, you can be in your kitchen, or brushing your hair in the morning, or waiting for your bus, and whisper something like, "Today feels busy," or "My coffee smells good," or "I'm tired, but I'll be okay." Small, soft, natural.
And that tiny moment does more for your memory than 30 minutes of silent studying. because now the word is connected to your life, to your morning, to your breath.
Another gentle way is to revisit the word later in the day. Not as homework, not as pressure, just as a quiet hello. Maybe you learned the word relieved. In the evening, you can think, did I feel relieved today? Just that question creates a pathway in your mind.
Yes, because memory loves repetition, but it loves soft repetition even more. Repetition that feels like life, not like a task.
And here's one more small thing that helps more than people expect. Attach the word to a feeling. If you learn the word overwhelmed, don't just memorize it. Ask yourself, when was the last time I felt overwhelmed? Let the word sit beside your emotion. Let it borrow its color.
That emotional connection makes the word stay longer, because it's no longer just English. It becomes part of your story.
And maybe my favorite gentle practice is what I call micro-speaking. Those tiny 2-second moments where you use English without thinking too much. Saying morning to someone at work. Telling a friend, I'm a bit stressed today. Ordering a drink. Answering a small question. They're short, but they train your brain to find words faster and faster.
Yes, micro-speaking is like flicking on a little light inside the fog. It's not bright, it's not dramatic, but it tells your brain, we use English. Keep the path open.
And the beautiful thing is, you don't need to be brave to do any of this. You don't need long sentences. You don't even need perfect grammar. You just need tiny touches, tiny moments, tiny redirects to the words you learned.
Because remembering doesn't come from pressure. It comes from presence. Meeting the word gently, again and again, in your ordinary day.
And when you give yourself those little moments, your memory begins to soften, open, and welcome the words back more easily than before.
You know, as we talk about memory and why words slip away, I keep thinking about something simple that learners often forget. You remember more than you think you do. You're improving more than you notice, and the words you think are gone are usually just resting.
Yes, I love that word, resting, because forgetting doesn't mean disappearing. It means the word is taking a quiet pause somewhere inside your mind, waiting for another moment to come forward. And that's not failure, that's rhythm.
And what a gentle rhythm it is. Learning, forgetting, remembering, forgetting again. It's not a straight line. It's a soft circle, a returning.
If you've ever watched waves at the beach, you know they don't rush in one direction. They come and go, each time smoothing the sand a little more. Words behave the same way. Every time a word comes back to you, even a week later, even a month later, it arrives a little smoother, a little clearer, a little easier.
And that's why the most important part of remembering vocabulary is not perfection, not long lists, not pressure. It's simply staying close to the language, touching it often, gently, kindly.
Because every touch tells your brain, this matters. We use this. Keep it nearby. Every whisper, every tiny self-talk sentence, every micro conversation, every soft moment of English is another step through the fog.
And that fog, it doesn't stay forever. It lifts slowly, softly, almost without you noticing. One day you realize a word you used to forget comes out smoothly. Another day, a sentence arrives quicker than before, and suddenly, what used to feel heavy feels lighter, almost natural.
That's the beauty of gentle progress. It doesn't shout, it doesn't show off. It grows quietly inside your daily life.
So if you're listening to this and you've been frustrated because words keep slipping away, please remember, you don't need a perfect memory to speak a language. You just need patience and small, honest contact with English.
And you don't have to do it alone. We're here with you, in your headphones, in your quiet moments, in your calm practice. And every time you come back to this space, you're already doing more than you think.
Thank you for spending this gentle time with us today. Take care of yourself. Be kind to your mind. Your English is growing, even on days when it feels hidden.
We're proud of you, truly. And we'll see you again soon in another soft moment of English.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.